do think that it's not going to be the government that's going to be the front runner of the climate solution. I think it's the people. I'm more of a libertarian than anything.
We were just talking about, there's a guy that just assaulted somebody over here. So I think we're going to try to go for a felony. Like, that could be up to like second-degree felony, like sexual assault.
I saw it. I could be a witness. Why not?
Wait, did you go talk to them yet?
No, you want me to?
Yeah, go tell them. Yeah, that's why I was checking to see if there's any other witnesses.
And then, you want
Yeah, what's up?
You want to tell us what you were just talking about? What happened?
Oh yeah, we were. I mean, are you guys okay with language?
Yes.
Okay, so we were just standing here talking to people. There was an event here. There was like a "fuck Trump" rally, and we were standing over here away from it, talking to people about what their concerns were and why maybe they may not be as bad as what they think or whatever. So there's a guy that just came up while we were standing here and said something about grab him by the pussies, and then walked up to somebody and tried to grabbed his junk. Tried to do it to another person.
Tried to grab a male or a female?
A male. So then a couple of people saw it, and then the police officer came over and then took the guy over there. And we're trying to figure out, I want to make sure that he gets charged with a crime.
Was he the one
Yeah.
who was...
Did you want to give a
Do you mind
statement?
talking on camera about like what just happened?
Sure thing.
Sure.
All right, what's your name?
Alex.
Alex. And are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And you just want to tell us what happened, what's going on?
Sure thing. So we came out here today. There was a peaceful protest going out here, people claiming that Donald Trump was not my president, which I think is just a product of the mass paranoia, and people are scared of him as president because the media's portrayed him to look like a monster, to look like a bigot, to look like a racist. And these are things that are unproven, untrue, and honestly, I think all this divisive rhetoric is what lost Hillary the election. All the fact that how polarizing she really is. And today, we're out here on the Oval trying to protest some of those bad, negative feelings, trying to get people to come together because, until Americans come together, we won't create change. And one protester had a few more words than others about Donald Trump's supposed grabbing of genitals, and he decided to use me as a physical example of what that might look like. And campus police happened to catch this, happened to escort him off. I've been talked to by them.
What exactly did he do when you say use an example of you?
Okay, I'm good to use language on this?
Yeah, you good to use. Say whatever you need to say.
He said, if I'm a political candidate, it's okay if I just grab them by the dicks, right? And obviously, that's not something Donald Trump would do. And I mean, his point on that is the allegations against Donald Trump supposedly grabbing women, which have never been proven, which came out after the audio tape leaked. I mean, I'm not going to say they were fabricated, but sexual assault is not something you make light of. And it's definitely not something you do in revenge. And today, he walked up to me when I defended the fact that Donald Trump was not a rapist and grabbed me, cupped my genitals, got in my face, said, I'm allowed to do that. I can do that if Donald Trump can do that. And I can't agree with that at all.
You voted for Donald Trump. Did you vote in the primaries as well?
I actually didn't get to vote in the primary. I was registered in the wrong county. But his chances were so slim then, and people had counted Donald Trump out from the beginning. It created this natural underdog, and I think that's why he resonated with so many people, is that Donald Trump is not an elite. I mean, he is as far as finance and wealth goes, but he doesn't view himself that way. He views himself as an American, which I think that nationalist view is something we could use a little bit more of. I mean, I don't hate internationals. I don't hate immigrants. I have nothing against any other races. I love Americans, and as President of the United States, Americans need to come first. And I think he understands that a little bit more than some of the career politicians we've had in office in the last couple decades.
Can you talk a little bit about why you supported Trump? Like,
For sure.
Policy-wise,
issues,
anything you want to...
No problem. My priorities, which I think this is where people need to vote. This is where popular sovereignty comes in, is that our priorities are not necessarily in line with everyone else's. I see a lot of Democrats, they care more about climate change, which is, that's fine. Climate change is a real issue, it's pressing, it matters. That's valid. They care about women's rights, they care about inequality, they care about, fixing, I'm not going to say socialism because I hate that word, but they care about the betterment of all together, and they use stronger together as a term to kind of encapture that. Where I think on Trump's side, our priorities lie more with national defense. border security. Our economy's in shambles, and we finally, the people elected a person with no political or military experience that is, for all intents and purposes, he's an economic genius, and I don't think people understand that. The Art of the Deal is one of the most concise books written about specifically how he would change, how he wins these deals, how he reads people and reacts. And I mean, he has so much business and so much experience with international affairs and with finance that I think it would be stupid for us not to take advantage of those good traits. And obviously his bedside manner is questionable. Political correctness has never come easy to him, which is why I assume he's denounced it. And, you know, sometimes when he speaks, it feels like he's speaking for the little guy. And coming from someone like Donald Trump, that's rare, I think. For us to view him as the underdog, him who's giving the people a voice against big banks, big pharmacy, big oil, the same people that have had their pockets in Washington, have pulled money out of their pockets, loaded it into Washington, D.C., and that's really what keeps this whole spinning thing going. I mean, honestly, like, it is a cycle, and until someone steps up and breaks that cycle, until we had this power shift on Capitol Hill, and I mean, it's Democrats and Republicans that are corrupt. And I think that's the whole reason a lot of the Republican Party was against him, is that he's not a Republican necessarily. He doesn't fit the mold. The same way Hillary doesn't fit the Democratic mold. But it's really about the people versus the establishment. And I honestly think that's why he won, is because they see that, you know? They see that. Win or lose, we're all Americans. We all have access to, you know, equal rights. We all have rights to freedom of speech. And if he wanted to come over here, and what he said to me was terrible, but that's not a problem. That's illegal. We can have a conversation. I mean, I've been spit at. I've been called racist, sexist, everything in the book. But realistically, that's just not true. It's a hatred they have toward us because of what our candidate has been portrayed as. And now that he's president, all these same people that are outlashed, oh, Donald Trump's a racist. He doesn't like women. He hates Mexicans. Like, this is all, I mean, this isn't necessarily true information. This is all people's feelings. And when feelings get compiled and compacted, and then he wins a shocking victory to some people, they're gonna lash out. And we have to keep a sense of togetherness, because now that we have an opportunity to come together, we have a primarily Republican, you know, Capitol Hill, fully Republican Capitol Hill.
A majority.
Yeah, we're gonna see some real change. But the thing is, it's not going to be Republican change. It's not going to be Democratic change. And I think D's and R's need to get thrown out the window, because he's wanting to make America, I hate to say it, he wants to make America great again.